Hello, third graders. This is Miss Yvette, and I'm here today to talk to you about your family life. And last week we did the first two chapters, and that finished actually Unit 1. So we're starting on Chapter 3 today. And as you see in your book, the two girls are there talking. And what's happening is it's Beth and Rosa, and they're talking to each other that Beth is outside and she's kicking some stones and mumbling out loud, "I don't want to go. This is my street." So Rosa says, "Beth, want to jump rope?" "I don't feel like it right now," says Beth. "Maybe later." Rosa says, "When are you moving?" And Beth says, "On Saturday. I don't want to go. I'm going to miss you. I'm even going to miss this street." And Rosa says, "I know. Remember when they put in the new curbs? We all put our names in the wet cement." And Beth says, "Yeah, huh? Right in front of our building. It'll always say Beth. But Beth won't always be here." And Rosa says, "It's hard to imagine you not living here. How does Aaron feel about moving?" And Beth says, "You know how big brothers are. He wants to move. He thinks it'll be exciting to go to a new school. He hopes he will get on the soccer team and maybe even have a girlfriend." And then both of them laugh about that. So have you ever felt like Beth in this story? That, you felt like your world was coming to an end because you had to move from your neighborhood? That's very hard, and it's sad sometimes. So in this lesson, we're going to explore God's gift of feelings. We're going to discover how to properly act on feelings. And we're going to identify and use feelings that warn of danger. All right, so in your books, you're going to turn to page 24. And it says, Act on Feelings. Okay? Over on the right, it says, Catholics believe God gives us the language of feelings to help us know ourselves better and to communicate with one another. Prayer can be a way of sharing our feelings with God. So you're going to read that first paragraph with your parents. Then there's a little light bulb there, and there's a question. And you're going to discuss that with your parents. And the question says, think of a feeling. How do you show or express that feeling? So if you're angry, you make an angry face, or you cry, or you're sad, you cry. So they're showing the kids here with different facial expressions. And then you'll read the last paragraph with your parents. Okay? Over on the next page, which is 25, it talks about feelings. Feelings are not right or wrong. How you act on your feelings can be right or wrong. Making good choices with your feelings takes courage. Following good rules helps you to best act on your feelings. Rules help you to know how to act, no matter how you feel at the time. The rules of God are the most important rules of all. These rules are called the 10 Commandments. The first 3 are about love of God, and the other 7 are about love of others, as we love ourselves. The commandments help guide us in our actions. So at the bottom, it says following the rules. Draw a picture of someone following a rule that may be hard to follow. Share and describe your picture to the class or to your family or to the parent that's helping you with this. Up in the box, it says growing in virtue. Making good choices with your feelings take courage. Good rules can help you think before you act. And that's something very important to learn in your life, is to think before you act. If you act and not think about it, it could cause you a lot of trouble. Okay? So on page 26, we're still talking about feelings. Okay? And here it has our Catholic family album. And today they're talking about Saint Teresa of Avila, or Saint Teresa of Jesus. So you might want to read that. Listening to your feelings. Then there's a chart at the bottom. And on the one side is 1 to 4 are situations. And then on the right, it says identify your feelings and actions. So you're going to read this. You find a handgun in a garbage can. I feel what? I will what? And then it's what you're going to do for the rest of them. Okay. Alrighty. So that brings us to lesson 4, sensing the world around us. Okay. And this chapter, or lesson actually, is titled Learning to Choose. This lesson will help you explore how we learn about the world through our senses. Discover that God created you to think, wonder, and choose. Make good choices when using your senses. Because we all get to make choices, and we always should try to make the best good choice. Okay, so you see these kids sitting here at the fire, and some of them, I believe, may have a marshmallow on their stick. They're camping. You see the tent. And the question down here is, what things do you sense right now when you're looking at this picture? Okay, might be scared. Might be, I can't wait till my marshmallow's done. What are we going to do after this? Everybody thinks differently about different things. Okay, so let's turn the page. And on page 28, growing in virtue. Okay, use your imagination. You can be curious about life. Using your mind and conscience, you can courageously choose to do good. So the article here on this page is the power to sense. So you're going to read this, and then there's a light bulb again. Think about times you have had to choose between right and wrong. Then at the bottom, the power to choose. Turn over to page 29, and there again, some more to read about the power to choose. And then here's a activity. Command the robot. Imagine that you have designed and built a robot. Since it cannot think, you must tell it what to do. You need to command the robot to help you with your chores. Draw your robot and write your commands in the space provided. Up in the corner, Catholics believe. God created us with the ability to think, imagine, and choose to do what is right. He gave us the gift of our conscience to guide us to make good decisions. And last year in the 2nd grade, you learned all about the conscience and making good decisions before you made your first reconciliation. Our last page in this unit or lesson is making good choices. Okay? So these have the senses here: see, hear, taste, touch, and maybe smell. People choose right and wrong ways to use their 5 senses. In the following activity, read each of the 2 choices, then write the choice you will make. Tell why your choice is a good one. So the first one says sight, with his eyes. Watch a violent TV show. Watch a bird build a nest. And then you would write in there what you would do. Alrighty. Now, you have your review on page 31 for Unit 2. 31 and 32 is the review for the 2 lessons we just talked about. Here you have your word bank for fill-in. Then you have true and false at the bottom. Then reviewing Unit 2 is on page 32, thinking it through. So there are sentences, and then you're going to complete the sentences. Okay, so that's it for Unit 2, Lessons 3 and 4. And I'll be back next week to talk to you then about the next 2. Have a great week. God bless, and hope you're all healthy.